Hi, this is EDT 6050, and my name is Joe DeSilvio, and this is my action plan. Thank you for joining me tonight. Alright, the unit of instruction that I decided to focus on was something called our DAP test, and I'll explain here what the DAP test is and how to go through those steps. The DAP test is a district assessment program, and there are different DAP tests for different subjects throughout the entire district. Health has one. They used to have them for math and science, and they've kind of gone away from them, but right now health and drive red are still two of these subjects that are still holding on to the DAP. It's a common final for all driver education students in the entire district. More importantly for my students, they all take the same final exam, as do the other 5 schools in the district. It helps to assess district goals, which I'll be going over today, what the district goal that I was focusing on with this. The DAP test consists of 100 questions, and that's a cumulative final for throughout our 6 units of instruction that we have throughout the entire semester. And it's approximately 9% of a final grade, give or take a percent or two, depending on if we decide to include any more or take something out of the curriculum for the semester. The goals of assessing the DAP data that I came up with was to take a look, does the exam cover equal parts of the course throughout the entire semester? What are the average scores? And that's what I was really taking a look at. What are the average scores for my students for taking the DAP just here at Warren Meadows High School? And how do the scores compare amongst subgroups? The subgroups that I chose were our ELL group, which is our English language learners, our special education group, and then our general population group was the other one. So I compared the 3 of them to see, and to kind of separate them and see where they would be at. I took a look at what are the average scores by year in school, just to see if that mattered at all. If I could take a look at, the juniors scored higher than the sophomores or vice versa, just to take a look at that. And then how can students increase their scores if they were not meeting our district standard? And the district goal that I was focusing on was that we have a 95% success rate of A's, B's, and C's. And what that means is that our district goal is to help every student get an A, B, or C, at least 95% of the students. So that means only 5% of our student population is at D's or F's for the semester. Any one of these grades is viewed as acceptable right now. So if a student scored an A, B, or if we had all C's, that was still acceptable for right now. We're just kind of taking a look to decide, where to go from here. 70% average and above is viewed as meeting the goal, and we use a typical 90, 80, 70, 60 grading scale throughout the district. And we will continue with data in future semesters and years and how we can improve that score even more from what we're doing right now. Okay, and the way I was able to draw out this data was when the students take the DAP exam, they use a Scantron, and then we put that Scantron through a machine, and it goes into a program called Mastery Manager. And then I can go online and I can access all of these students' grades, and I could divide them per subgroups. And so that's how I was able to come up with the 3 subgroups that I chose for this project. And the results show the following averages. Our ELL group came up with a 66.6% average, which is a D grade for us, so they are not meeting the expectation right now. Our special education group also came up with 66.6% average, again a D and not meeting the expectation that we have set forth. And then our general population group came up with 72.9% average, which is a C, so they are meeting the expectation that we have set forth. And then the results, pulling out the results for the year in school students, or by year in school, came up with the 10th graders or the sophomores were at 66.6%. And again, that's a D, not meeting expectations. 11th graders or the juniors were at the highest at 71.5%. And the 12th graders were at a 66.9% average, a D, again, not meeting expectations for our senior group. And here's a subgroup category graph here. And what we have is in the yellow is the special ed group. In the orange is our ELL group, and in green is our general population group. And so you can see that only general population really scored the A's. B's were shared, but still general population scored the highest. Lots of C's for all of these subgroups. And then we get to the D's, and you can see here that the general population scored the most. However, they were also had the most students taking the exam out of all three of the subgroups there. And then here it is by year in school as well. 10th grade is in the yellow here, and 11th grade is in orange, and then the 12th grade seniors are in the green there. And so you can see that here's A's, B's, C's, D's, and F's. And so again, a large percentage of D's came up with for our sophomore group. And so that's something that we need to focus on. Okay, and the William Meadows High School driver education strategies that we decided to come up with and take a look at. This was something adapted from our DataWise textbook. And I took a look at what the strategy that we could instill or use with our students, what the impact would be, and what the feasibility of implementing that strategy could possibly be. So we started with increasing the vocabulary. Felt that was a medium to high impact for the overall results of that program in the test. And it's a high level of feasibility. Comparing the DAP unit exams together, seeing how much information is really coming from unit exams and the curriculum that we already have in place. We thought that was a medium impact with a high feasibility. Spanish version, that's an idea that we have to come up with a Spanish version. And although it's only for our ELL group, we feel that that would be a high impact for that group, and feasibility would be medium to high. It's not something that I would be able to process, or I have to ask for assistance on that. And then the last strategy is to come up with a review study guide for the DAP test. And that would be a medium to high impact, just depending on how well students studied that and completed the review packet, and a high feasibility for completing that. Okay, our plan to improve, also I refer to as a PTI, is to move through the different phases. And we'll be going over those phases shortly in deciding what we're going to use. Okay? Our vision will be, our objective is increasing the DAP scores, helping the students to understand the terminology that we're using. The strategies, just what I went over, is taking a look at these are some of the things that we can use. And the assessment piece, it's going to stand for itself, but how are our subgroups doing? Are they increasing their scores year to year? Are they starting to meet expectations? Is our general population group, who scored the highest, is currently meeting expectations? Are they also increasing their expectations and going above that?